are one game away from securing another title.
Draft, gentlemen, is going to be crucial, though, in seeing who will come out on top in this game. And once again, we see Vander's comfort picks banned away, and Schalke, with side selection, have opted to be on red.
Now, do we get Schalke giving Kai'Sa again, but this time grabbing the Varus and trying to hard win the bot lane? Trying to match the Ezreal with Kai'Sa seems to be in favor of Fnatic and Rekkles.
Gentlemen, Kai'Sa banned.
Okay.
That Urgot that's been banned just about every time.
Will you play it, Fnatic?
Will Schalke play it if they don't take it?
That's kind of the big debate now for Fnatic. We looked at solo queue. We saw Soaz had also played the Urgot quite a few times the last couple of days. It's been one of those picks that's kind of jumped forward, but that's an Ornn right there. They're valuing the engage.
Yes.
Chachi?
Is he going to take it? Well, we heard it from the desk. We heard it from Ender. Soaz on these engaged champions, his veteran, his experience always showing through. He knows when the team can fight. It is a great pick for him. But will Vizicsacsi take the Urgot? I feel like that's what both teams are talking about right now. Can we play the Urgot?
Does Chachi play Urgot? Is that kind of in his wheelhouse? The debate right now.
I would say old Chachi for sure would grab it and try and win super hard. But
okay.
This actually shows that the last couple of the games here, Schalke might have wasted a ban on Urgot, seeing as Ornn just got first pick by Fnatic.
Yeah.
They know they want a team fight, and they know they want to engage on Soaz, so that's why they go for that.
Now, here's the trick. Caps was the true Urgot player all along. He can still throw it in the mid lane. You never know, but they're putting a high priority onto the Cho'Gath. They still want a solid 1v1 up in the top side. They want a tank, they want that Baron pressure, and they still value that Shen. So I wonder if Fnatic now draft themselves the Ezreal and the Pike so that Rekkles can play that defensive style and Hylissang can look to roam around the mid lane.
Yeah, I like that Schalke are still waiting to see what he's actually going to pick on the side of Rekkles here. See if Varus is going to be an option for upset. He played it really well in the first game. We do like to see it again. Great setup with Shen as well with Taunt. Xayah Rakan is available. That's what we're going to see.
When any player but Mickey sets foot on stage, it's like we forget that champion exists, but we have to remember Hylissang, a clutch playmaker on anything that can engage.
Now, does Vander, well, I mean, of course, he's already playing the Shen. I think this is also a pretty interesting matchup in terms of the 2 vs 2, but it depends on what Schalke look to lock in. I feel like they need a bit of mobility. They're going to go for Ezreal again.
Knowing Schalke and upset, they will go Ezreal against this. They need it against the Rakan. They don't want to play Varus. Fnatic, once again, changing things up in the draft. And they're blocking Schalke from playing split push because they have so much engage on their side. It's almost too much for Schalke to handle right now.
I feel like Schalke needs to put a little bit more value on something like the Casio, get that strong mid-game teamfight champion that NukeDuck can play extremely well. It is one of his big comfort champions, and I feel like there aren't that many weak matchups you can just ban out the rough one.
But the problem for him is going to be teamfighting against Rakan Ornn. When you are in
it's true, you're
lowest
right.
mobility mid laner possible on their side, like Fnatic, they just know 100% how to win this series, which is through big team fights.
Now, the nice thing for red side for Schalke is they will get the luxury of counterpick for NukeDuck if they want it. And additionally, we wanted to see something new from Amazing. Well, so does Fnatic. They've taken off the Sejuani. Not going to see it this game. And the question becomes, do we see the rumored Camille? What is Amazing going to pull out?
I wonder if they still want Amazing on Engage. The other option is the Zac. Something that we have seen come out from Xayah, something that we have seen come out a little bit across the world, and he does act as a kind of next in line jungler as the kind of tanky engage once many of the other junglers are banned away.
There's just so many mid laners open as well here because it's jungle focused. Like LeBlanc is left open until Fnatic ban it away, so the Cassiers here you highlighted earlier on your side, Vedius. Ryze also is open in this draft. Is by many considered one of the strongest mid laners to play.
I feel like you just, if they want engage, oh, of course, how can we forget the Gragas? Another staple. Amazing's not best champion, though. He doesn't statistically perform that well.
Also, just watching the games, it has been a bit of a struggle, but we have to assume that this is something that Schalke have prepared, that they are ready to execute on this pick.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I'm not getting super confident right here based on the draft from Schalke. It's a composition where your engage is the Gragas, which forces Amazing to play solo engage again, which is not always a good thing for them. Gragas can also be very difficult to use against Xayah because she could dodge his ulti so easily with her own ulti. Now you need to have a pick prepared against the Ryze that can actually win you the game if you're Schalke, because right now, there's so much engaged on Fnatic's side.
And historically, Cassio has been the pick into Ryze. He's forced to face forward when he uses a lot of those abilities. And they're going to go with the Zac for themselves, another engage option.
Oh
And
my God.
Casio has no mobility. If he goes for this, is an insane pick.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what they're preparing for. The fact that low mobility mid lane champion that often does well into the Ryze. But there's so much engage on the side of Fnatic. Their team fighting is monumental. Are we going to see the NukeDuck kind of special? Something that... all right.
All in, gentlemen. He's leaving nothing left.
They're going team fight too. You know, Irelia is one of the stronger team fighters. She can also hold her own in a side lane, but whoever gets that advantage will be stronger off on a side. I feel like the early game is going to be really instrumental. Can Fnatic find those 2v2 wins with the Xayah Rakan? Can NukeDuck be set up for success by Amazing?
Fnatic, they have to get NukeDuck. I mean, Schalke have to get NukeDuck ahead in this game here. This Irelia pick is so risky against all these massive tanks, so much engage, tools to lock him down in team fights. If he gets ahead, however, he can subtly bully out the Ryze. He can take over a side lane, and he can, as you highlighted, Vedius, also team fight. But this Fnatic draft is packing so many ways of just forcing plays on Schalke.
Gentlemen, explosive drafts. Can Rekkles and Hylissang pull it off? Can they find the engages? Can they stop? NukeDuck is the Irelia pick, the key to Schalke's success. That's what we have to ask ourselves as we look at back and forth across these compositions and see at match point what Schalke can show us to bring it to a game 5.
Now, Schalke overall can be pretty pleased with how this split and how this year has gone. The introduction of Amazing to this lineup has brought Schalke to their very first ever final. They took game 1, and now they're putting a lot of emphasis on NukeDuck to be the big carry.
Let's hear what the coach has to say as we head over to QuickShot.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm joined once again by Giotto. Let's talk about those last two picks, Gragas and Irelia. Amazing has not had the most impressive performances on Gragas on stage. And Year of the Duck, is it true or false? Let's talk about that mid-duo synergy.
I mean, if it's true or false, I don't think that this game is the one that is going to answer it. I'm pretty sure that Nuke, both in this series and throughout the whole season, showed that it is the year of NukeDuck. And the Gragas is just a pick that fits perfectly to what we want to achieve in this game.
One last question. What is the thing you are most afraid of the Fnatic composition in this game?
I think probably I'm a bit on the expectation to see what Hylissang can do on Rakan. It's not a champion that we saw Hylissang playing for a long time. I think that if he can pull out some good ultis, probably will be good, but my trust is on Upset and Vander, and I'm pretty sure that they will get the push and win the lane like they have been doing the whole series.
Best of luck, and hopefully give us a game 5. Thank you very much, Giotto. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, QuickShot. Game 4, Fnatic versus Schalke. Fnatic up, Fnatic at match point, Fnatic on the cusp of 7 EU LCS titles. But what will Schalke say here? Can the bottom lane come through? Can NukeDuck come through for this lineup?
Yeah, again, it's so much about NukeDuck for me. I'm not expecting the bot lane from Schalke to actually win here and try and kill Rekkles and Hylissang. I'm just looking at the Irelia.
Now, keep your eyes on where the junglers are starting, and we already see a bit of a trade. Level 1.
Going in for the all-in. Upset now backing off. The exhaust has been burned. Hylissang already using the ignite, though, so just a 1-for-1 trade on summoner spells. They're fighting ferociously for this first push, for this battle to level 2.
And this is why I wanted to talk about the junglers, because you'll note that neither of them gave a pull for their respective junglers. Amazing started on top side. Broxah started solo on the Raptors, which Schalke had information on. So Amazing should now have a rough idea of where Broxah is and where he's pathing, and if he can look to punish, because Zac in the jungle often gets very low, and if you have pressure in a lane, you can look to abuse it.
Taunt goes in. Vander, though, has he overstayed his welcome? The knockup is going to come through. They're not going to be able to get level 2. The flash out, immediately forced.
Yeah, Vander is ignoring summoner spells here. There's heal on Rekkles versus teleport on Upset, so you're down a combat summoner. Looking for these engages here is very risky and cost him early flash in the bottom lane. A little bit too eager to try and do something. I'm still looking towards the mid lane, and Amazing now, who's hovering around, but obviously Caps is very safe. See if it does stun connects.
Stun gonna go in, flawless duet, 1 stack on the Blade Surge, leaping in and out, trying to use the most of that passive, but a lot of damage now traded back. Caps, pulling back. You know there are moments where he would have gone for it, but gives Amazing the respect.
First combo there from Caps, maximizing his damage output, punishing the trade that NukeDuck tried to go for. There is still an ignite on the side of NukeDuck, which will give him an advantage in this 1 versus 1, but Caps is so dangerously close to that tower. A slight misstep will result in a kill for Caps.
And what we're seeing here is Amazing getting both Rift Scuttlers early because Zach can't really do anything in the early game. He just wants to farm. Broxah is around to see if anything is happening. Meanwhile, Amazing can go back, grab his full bot side jungle, recall, get his boot so he can use Predator, and then I want to see the first gank.
Both scuttles going over to Amazing here in the early game. Broxah taking the defensive bottom side pathing, securing level 3 on the 3 camps. Taking the Krugs as well, so doing okay to match experience, and Amazing doing what he can to put down some early pressure, but not amounting to much.
Keep your eyes on the bot lane as well. Upset being pushed back hard underneath his tower. Fortunately, the Kleptomancy does help in terms of giving him a little bit of sustain, as Rekkles has ran out of health pots, but that doesn't stop them or slow them down. Even though they don't have the vision, they're not afraid of going for these early 2 versus 2s and just maintaining the advantage against Upset and Vander.
If you're a Schalke fan, you're already worried because you heard the coach. He said they're going to win bot lane push just like they do every game. The last game it was a struggle. In this game, it's getting hard too. Difficult. The confidence from Gyoto not showing through for the bot lane right now. Maybe they can shift it now that Upset has the tier and can start to pressure more. I think we'll see attention on the top side though as Soaz continues to get aggressive here. TP comes in the bot lane from Upset. Hylissang immediately looking from the engage with the input buffer on the arcane shift. We'll take him out to safety.
So he's fine for now. Rekkles, of course, will try and recall very soon, and that does buy a bit of time for the Schalke bottom lane, and they got the early tier. Now, Broxah's top side. Judges struggled in his lane early. Very good trades from Soaz on the Ornn. He's fully controlling the Schalke top laner. Amazing around bottom side. Did not recall yet. There's no boots, no Predator, but he's going for the gank.
Trying to pull it back. A lot of damage immediately goes on to Upset, but Rekkles is low on mana, and he's already burned the Feather Collar. Pull back. A little bit more damage could come in. The chain CC does land. Rekkles, though, still trying to fight, still trying to fire back. Has the flash, but doesn't look like he's going to make it out of this one. First blood for Upset. That's just what Schalke need.
Great punish there from Amazing. This is exactly the kind of early game that Schalke would want. Get your bot lane ahead, put the Xayah Rakan behind, and punish the fact that Rekkles and Hylissang were playing like they had full control over bot side. They did not have the vision. They had a single ward in the river, and they got punished.
It's exactly the start that Schalke wanted on the bottom side. Hylissang going to have to give a little bit more respect to the Ezreal and Shen as they get a little bit more control over the bottom lane. We can take a look back at the first blood one more time.
Yeah, Amazing is stealing away some Raptors, and then he walks down on bottom side again. Fnatic not respecting the chance of a gank. And as you see the early trades with Upset jumping out, Rekkles knows at this point he cannot get out safely. He will save his flash, give over that kill. Great for Schalke to get it on the Ezreal. And even more important, the play topside that Broxah was looking for never happened.
Now another gank.
Soaz in trouble. Predator coming out from Amazing one more time. Tries to dash out to safety. Body slam. Where's it going to be? The flash away from Soaz. Good reaction there.
It's a great thought. Mid lane.
Already looking for the all-in, but he's missed a flawless duet. That's going to be massive. Not even disarmed on the side of Caps. He's making it out to safety. But the Ignite goes in. He needs the shield from it, but he can't get it. He's not in range. Broxah's here to try to fire back, but Vander is backing NukeDuck up.
And we said we needed NukeDuck to get ahead on Irelia. He picks it after he sees the blind Caps, or the blind Ryze from Caps here. And what do we get? A 1 versus 1 solo kill against the MVP.
2 kills now in favor of Schalke. NukeDuck picks himself the Irelia and says, listen team, I know I can carry, I can get this outplay. Let's look back at how NukeDuck does it. He gets level 6 before Caps does. He's going to get it on this cannon wave, and then he's going to go all in. Ultimate comes out. He does miss the stun, expecting Caps to run away, but he knows he has enough damage with his passive and the Ignite to secure the kill.
Caps right there, end up misclicking and walking back towards NukeDuck for another auto attack in his face. Did not early flash out. Greedy play, and again, probably a slight misclick, and NukeDuck instantly just punish him.
Good use of the level 6 spike and the passive stacks to really punish Caps for staying a bit too long, cutting through that overload shield pretty easily, and now putting himself in a favorable position. He gets the Merc treads. He's very comfortable in this lane, and bot lane doing well as well for Schalke.
Let's also look at how summoner spells are doing for both sides, because every single member of Schalke has flash, but Caps doesn't, Soaz doesn't, and that Predator is about to be up for Amazing, who's level 6. NukeDuck doesn't necessarily need that ultimate because there are no escapes left for Caps, so Amazing needs to make the next gank happen, and it needs to happen soon.
Oh, give us that extra kill in the mid lane for NukeDuck. Why not? It's so open at the moment without that flash on Caps. NukeDuck and Amazing are looking for it. Amazing actually just used the vision cone here to check if anything was warded. That is a no. So Fnatic, they know he's around, but they don't know 100% where he is. And he's sitting around mid lane, forcing Caps to be very, very defensive.
Forcing bot lane as well to play with a little bit more respect. Will they go for the dive?
Cho'Gath coming.
Caps with no flash. He's ready. He's stacking with the passive. Ionian Fervor will be fully ready to go. 3 stacks currently. Wants to get the follow-up, but is going to knock him back right forward. The chain CC! Beautiful execution from Amazing.
That was so good from Amazing. We criticized his Gragas in the draft, but he is changing things.
Here comes Broxah. Going to pull him, slap him together, get a kill back. Well played from the jungler.
Amazing actually wanted to check right there with the barrel, but then he wasn't ready to jump away in case Broxah showed up. So there's a kill going in favor of Fnatic, but NukeDuck 2-0. Oh, 14 HP. Another big thing here with Amazing's performance is when he played this Gragas, and we criticized it, was because he didn't succeed with early plays.
Yes.
He just died, he was too over-aggressive, but the fact he's getting early kills is so huge for him as a player to continue playing aggressive.
Oh, gentlemen, you got to check the picture-in-picture. This play is beautiful, but Caps just warped another minion wave forward, and it looks like it could be tower first blood for Fnatic. Well executed by Schalke, but if Fnatic can strike back here, it's not going to happen in the end.
There's also the risk of getting locked underneath your tower against the Ryze. That root can last a really long time, and the setup can be really strong, but Fnatic choosing to disengage as Upset and Vander return to bot lane.
Let's see, on the side of Caps, what's his answer right now? Well, he's built CDR boots. That means he can't actually properly get out of the stun from NukeDuck. He can't block any additional auto attack damage without Ninja Tappy. He has no real way of actually staying alive if NukeDuck goes all in, and it's probably going to happen again. Ignite is up. If he lands the combo, and especially the ulti, he's going to kill Caps again.
That threat, that kill pressure is not something we've seen from NukeDuck yet in this series. He had a nice, safe matchup when he was the Lissandra into the Akali, but this time it's he who is threatening Caps. Now Vizicsacsi doing well on the top side as the tanks continue to trade out. Silence comes in. Vizicsacsi is he going to commit for this?
No.
Ulti was...
He did have it, but I think he needs one more rotation, and there's always that risk going up against an Ornn. He's like one of those champions that you should just never afford to dive because of the outplay potential he does have with his ulti. But Hylissang doing what he often does. Roam around the mid lane, look for a potential pick. NukeDuck does have the flash available, and the flash is coming up for both Caps and Soaz. So he is just hanging around. Maybe he's a potential counter gank, but also looking for a play.
But I just want to see Amazing hover around mid again, just to provide safety for NukeDuck to go all in. I think at this point he can probably tower dive Caps and just kill him. You know, he has the Sheen. Caps is so squishy. But look at Broxah and Hylissang around. They know this. They're protecting their mid laner.
Where's it going to be? Zach starting to charge the Elastic Slingshot. He's already burned his damage reduction ability. He's flashing out. Excellent use of the Flawless Duet to stop the engage, but still has to give it the flash.
And this is what you were talking about, Deficio. If you're Fnatic, you want to get Caps back into the game. And Amazing, he wasn't hanging around, ready to defend NukeDuck, trying to clear these minion waves out. They didn't have the vision on the top side of the river that allowed Broxah to get a good jump in with the E. And NukeDuck now flashed us. Soaz in a 1v1 against Chachi, but here comes Broxah.
And not going to be a 1v1 for long. The silence comes out to stop him from engaging. Vizicsacsi flashes out. It escaped thus far, looking for the minion. Now pulling him back to double knockup. Vizicsacsi just going to back off here. But Amazing wants to bring it back. Here comes the Predator. Can they get it? Amazing going to knock it back. Broxah now in trouble. Has the reset on the passive, though. It's just going to back off in the end.
Silence comes out a little too late there from Vizicsacsi, which means that Broxah is still able to flash along with Soaz. But Broxah's not done yet. He is hanging around.
Chachi leaping in. Is going to try to pull him back under the tower. Soaz is trying to chain the CC. The silence is there. Now the Shen is coming in, but I think it's too little too late. He gets taken down in the end.
Man, Zach is such a good champion and just constantly surprising people in lane. They think Broxah is gone. He's leaving the top lane, but he goes back in. Chachi overextends and cannot get his ulti down to kill someone. They also got the Shen ulti from Vander. It's now on a long cooldown. Super good for Fnatic, and it's Broxah, the Rock, pulling the team back.
Flash forward, extending the engage. The charm has connected. Upset is all but dead at this point. One more auto do it. Can he make it out? The heal comes through. Hylissang grabs the kill.
Upset tries to defend the tower without his support. He ends up overstaying, and all the summoner spells get burnt as Fnatic find themselves 2 quick kills. Now the TP comes through to defend the Fnatic bot lane.
NukeDuck debating if he even cares. He's ready to go for it. Caps now pulling the team back. He's going to use the Flawless Duet to lock up a member, but they flash out. The immediate lockup comes through. The damage reduction not enough. No depth to find today. Dropping down in the end from NukeDuck.
And this is why Fnatic are the best team in Europe. When they're down, they're supposed to fall even further behind. Their mid lane is supposed to die again. They find ways back through great fight. Broxah top lane makes the play. Bot lane secures a kill on Upset because he's alone. And then Caps and the rest of the team gets the kill on NukeDuck. This team was not supposed to get these kills. They were not supposed to be even in gold after the start. but they pull it back, and Schalke, they leave a tiny opening, and they just get punished.
But now look at the collapse from Schalke in the middle lane. Caps, he is overextended just a bit.
Predator going forward, they're matched in level. Caps is still so far behind as an individual. He's going to use the movement speed to get out. Amazing, he's knocked it back, that's disastrous. Now Soaz is in the middle of the team. Ornn not going to get used quite yet. Upset is here if they want to try to fire back, but burning so many cooldowns already. There she goes! Upset says goodbye!
All part of the plan. Give the gold over to Upset. You think you're safe? No. Schalke, they pick up a kill. They get the slight gold lead, but this game is still so even now. Look at Broxah hanging around mid.
The engage options on both sides are incredible. Broxah, will he look for a fight here? Vizicsacsi is here. Amazing is here. They're trying to secure the Rift Herald. Fnatic, will they go for the contest even without their mid laner? NukeDuck waiting over the wall, only level 10. Doesn't have the second level in his ultimate quite yet, but still definitely a lethal threat. Getting lower, 2K on the Herald. Stun does come through. Soaz now in trouble. Upset dealing damage, and there's no one there to fire back. Rekkles, though, ready to protect Soaz. Upset going to be in trouble, but the input buffer takes him out.
They're just forcing Soaz to use a defensive ulti, so Fnatic cannot fight here. Mid lane turret is low. Even without caps here yet, they're still trying to push.
Massive engage threat. One stun does connect, but it looks like the tower will fall in favor of Fnatic. The goal just about dead even, but 300 in the favor of Fnatic for now.
Fnatic did have priority over mid, allowing them to get that push and have the numbers advantage. They do also have control around the Drake, but they don't want to overstay. This is still fine for Schalke because they got themselves the Rift Herald, and now as Fnatic look to return to the side lanes, there is the option for Schalke to use that and trade a turret later on.
Yeah, losing that mid lane turret is based on the play that happened earlier, when you had that all in towards caps, and he returned and altered the wave into the turret and got it really low. NukeDuck on bottom side. No Trinity Force yet, but he wants to be annoying. He's not gone as far ahead in this game as I expected after the early advantage.
Yes.
I think things slowed down a little bit too much around that mid lane. And here we get one of those plays where you want to just land this combo as Gragas and easily secure the kill.
Yes.
Luckily for Schalke, they still get the ulti, and Caps maybe shouldn't recall at his turret.
Yep. The phase rush coming in clutch right there for Caps. Unfortunately for him, oh no! He was already shopping and ends up getting killed. Now,
bot lane.
Here comes Schalke.
Predator comes out. Gragas Cask already forcing out the defensive ulti from Rekkles. Now charming up as they look for the disengage, trying to find the re-engage as well. Caps is on the way, but NukeDuck is here. He's in the middle of everything. The Irelia is trying to pop off. The resets are coming through. Dash and taking one down. The Blade Surge enough to close it out.
Schalke hate Rekkles. They threw absolutely everything onto him to secure that kill. They do finally get it, but look at Soaz pressuring up towards the top side of the map. Caps will get priority over mid. Schalke invested so many resources into getting just a single kill that Fnatic do have answers elsewhere on the map.
It's a big kill, and if they get the bot lane turret as well, it is huge for them. Amazing is on his way to defend. Broxah might try and run top lane and see if he can intercept someone going to the turret. But looks like all of Fnatic are happy just farming a few camps. No, now he's on his way. There we go. Is what we need from Fnatic to try and see if anyone shows up alone from Schalke. Ah, Amazing was sitting there already.
Does spot them out, but NukeDuck is here as well. The man advantage in favor of Fnatic. They have their eyes set on the tier 1 top lane tower.
It's happened a little bit too slow. They didn't need to do Raptor camp first on Fnatic side. They could have rushed top lane with Broxah, look for someone to sit there alone and then try and kill them. But at this point, they just want to get a turret.
Tower getting lower and lower. NukeDuck not feeling comfortable enough to approach. Even with the lead he has, Trinity Force not going to give up enough tanky stats to survive the all-in there. Rift Herald now used in the mid lane by Amazing. Upset is here with the wave. Vizicsacsi is collapsing as well. Schalke looking to take things back into their control.
You can see Broxah hanging around the top side of the map. NukeDuck needs to be aware that he's not in a singular 1 versus 1. But a lot of things happening on the map right now. Chachi alone in the bot side. Fnatic looking for a dive. All those summoner spells are coming back up.
Looking to get it. Vizicsacsi, though.
Stopwatch is available. You should just stay on the turret.
We've seen this before. Vizicsacsi turning around entire games with a good use of stopwatch on an over-aggressive dive, but Fnatic are not going to take the bait. They see the item in his inventory.
There's no Shen ulti on Vander, which means that he's just walking towards the bot side of the map while 2 members of Schalke hang around top. The Rift Herald was used, so NukeDuck's going to take his time taking that tower, but I feel like Chachi needs to respect the fact that Fnatic has so much vision control over the river right now.
Exactly. Could have felt safe with this warrior, but because of the control being placed down, it will just get killed, and now Chachi steps away. The moment he loses all the vision, he's gone. Plays it safe. Meanwhile, NukeDuck will get the top lane turret, so Schalke will have all 3 outer turrets down, and a fed Irelia at this point in the game, while Fnatic are trying to get a Drake and a bot lane turret.
So when we think about mid-game spikes as well, you've got to look at Schalke's comp and realize that this is a strong 2-item team. Upset already completed the Iceborne Gauntlet, well on his way to completing the Muramana. The Trinity Force has finished on NukeDuck, and Cho'Gath is Cho'Gath. He's always going to be relevant with that ulti, but now he's getting collapsed
Cho'Gath now is going to get collapsed on. It looks like they need to cut through his health bar. Vizicsacsi buying a little bit more time, but the Zac is on the way in, is going to knock him up in the end. Vizicsacsi cut down by Fnatic.
And Schalke, they need to find pressure elsewhere, but only NukeDuck is sitting in the top lane. I don't know if he's going to be able to secure that tag. There are still 5 members of Fnatic. They're not going to overplay.
Oh, maybe stop some recalls here. But Fnatic, another great play. They know if they are together, they can fight. They can use the strong engage on their side. We praised it in the draft. And they find Chachi in that bottom lane. NukeDuck will get his turret, so it is still a trade. Oh, stop another recall.
Recall interrupted. They may look for the re-engage here, but they have to be careful. 5 members strong of Fnatic. Schalke realized their mistake. The Predator still active from Amazing. He might still look for a kill here. Rekkles all on his lonesome is just going to walk out of the jungle. Amazing does not want to fight that.
Yeah, they didn't actually know how many Fnatic members would be close. They can see them recall here.
If Chachi had teleport, I feel like Schalke would have considered going for a re-engage, but without his ability to get involved in the fight and no NukeDuck, they didn't want to overcommit. So here we see the dive. Good Realm Warp from Caps to kind of cut off the escape route from Vizicsacsi. The flash engage from Hylissang means that there are very few options that Chachi has, and overall the combined CC from Fnatic enables a very clean dive with a tower off the back of it as well.
Luckily for Schalke, of course, NukeDuck is able to take down that top side tier 2. Keeping the passive stack as best he can on the minions. Now Upset chasing down Soaz. Vizicsacsi and Amazing are on the way, looking to give the same treatment to the enemy top laner that their top laner received moments ago. CC comes in more than enough with the damage from Upset to close it out.
Teams are just always trading here. Fnatic gets something bot lane, well, Schalke gets something top. Now they swap it around. It's Schalke getting a kill bot, but it's Fnatic pushing in mid. NukeDuck is sitting here trying to defend, but he's against 3 members.
He's going to use the ultimate. The TP does come in. He's now going to try to line up the stun. He manages to hit 2 members. He's going to continue going forward, but the charm comes in as well.
Shen,
Defiant Dance still pulled back into the middle of the team. Shen is there. He's going to block as much damage as possible. The ult is there if they want to re-engage, but Caps is here as well. Upset does not care. He goes face first into Caps, and Caps just barely makes it out.
Very close fight here, but Fnatic end up securing a tower in the top lane. They aren't able to secure it in the mid as Schalke, with good use of teleport and the Shen ulti, buy themselves a bit more time.
And again, trying to set up a trap here in the jungle, but Ryze is super low. They just get down some vision and then they start backing away. Amazing will find Rakan, however.
Rakan, Hylissang, body slam goes forward, can't still leap out into the Baron pit.
Here's Vander.
Vander's here over the wall. Hylissang, are they not going to go for this?
He's so scared because he has no vision in the jungle.
Well, Broxah's there to back him up. Feels like they had a window of opportunity, but they just missed it completely.
Well, that's where, again, we can see the entire map.
Yes.
So we're like, oh, come on, it's a free kill. Just get in there. But he didn't know if 2 or 3 members were sitting around blue buff from Fnatic, and then he would suddenly look very dumb for actually chasing down a kill. But it is Schalke being a little bit scared of risking, you know, that potential play. But again, they had no deep vision.
Let's think about the state of the game right now, because we know that Fnatic, they do have a very strong 5v5, and they're getting close to that point. But the fact that Rekkles was put behind in the early game means that he's yet to complete his second item. He is about to go back to base. We'll see. There it is. The rapid fire now picked up for him, but Upset, 2.5 items. NukeDuck, you would imagine he's going to go back and pick up the Sterak's. Amazing. Going to be getting tankier. If Schalke want to fight, I feel like now is one of the best times to do it.
100%. You're still a crit AD carry on Rekkles side, so you need your IH, and it's not going to be there for a couple of minutes. So Schalke, find your opening. Amazing. Your flash is available. Let's get the engage you need and secure Baron right after. That's how you snowball the game as Schalke.
Can't afford any more fumbles either. They need the clean engage to get this one going. Now already the bot lane starting to trade back and forth. Fnatic are on the way down. The Ornn horn has been blown. Silence going to stop anything else from going through, but Vizicsacsi needs to make it out. He has the flash available, but it might be too little too late. It's absolutely going to be Vizicsacsi dying here. What can Schalke get back in return?
Trying to get Broxah here, but it's not enough. And oh, actually, maybe.
Now running for his life, but the elastic slingshot is there. They can't interrupt him from stopping him from getting away, but Upset is determined, trying to stop them from being able to threaten Baron.
But this play right here has been the weakness for Vizicsacsi. His team is not in position to pressure Baron, and yet he's far pushed forward near an enemy. They're fighting.
The engage going through, Amazing, trying to make his way out, but the Predator means he doesn't have any tanky stats. NukeDuck now needs to turn this fight back. Gets the engage potentially as an option, but will not take it. Soaz goes for the side. NukeDuck, can he outplay this one? He is running back to safety. Fnatic in complete control of the Baron pit, but will they start it? Looks like the answer is yes.
There's no jungler now for the side of Schalke. TP coming in from Chachi. He does have the ulti. Fnatic immediately disengaged.
NukeDuck buying a bit more time, delaying the escape. Vizicsacsi just trying to make sure this Baron does not go down. This is not a winning fight for Schalke, but they will stop the Baron, and that's the consolation prize.
And now we get it again. Fnatic, they see an overextended Cho'Gath. Instantly they kill him. Go for NukeDuck.
NukeDuck. Defiant Team's going to buy a bit more time, but he is going to get taken out in the end. The ulti not enough. Another pick for Fnatic.
Huge mistake there for Schalke and NukeDuck. 8-6 is the kill score, but the Baron is the focus for Fnatic. They have 5 members strong. Amazing is back alive, but Fnatic with so much more control.
Oh, Soaz is on the side with the Ornn ulti in case Schalke step forward. Joins his team now.
Can Amazing do it?
7k health. The Ornn blown, the engage comes out. Vizicsacsi trying to buy a bit more time. They have the Cho'Gath, the beautiful combo. It goes in. Vizicsacsi takes out Hylissang. Can they actually win this fight? Upset untouched, but his mana is low. He's still doing so much damage. Rekkles now in trouble, but the double carries are there. Rekkles now pulling back. Brings back the feathers. That's the turn that they needed. Oh, going for more. Caps and Rekkles now going to step forward. This could be disaster. Upset goes in. He's going to get it. Rekkles running for his life. Not today. Taking out the double for Upset.
That was an amazing team fight. Upset comes up clutch. Rekkles nearly saves the fight. It ends up with no one winning anything. This game is still on a knife's edge.
What a team fight, and man, Schalke need a win at Broxah!
Run, Upset,
He wants to stop it. Upset gone! I cannot believe it. Fnatic are not giving up in any way, shape, or form.
Oh my words.
All right, let's get the whole thing again. Remember, NukeDuck is dead. It's 4 Schalke members around. Fnatic, they want to turn and fight with Ornn ulti, but look at the flash silence. Soaz cannot reactivate the Ornn ult, and you have Fnatic stuck near the Baron getting CC'd.
And that Gragas ultimate was fantastic, but then keep your eyes on Rekkles. Good use of the ulti to lock the 2 frontline members down, and then with the return of Caps, they think they can win. But then they realize they've lost their frontline. Upset is still capable of dealing a huge amount of damage, and then they're able to get this kill onto Rekkles. So much was used, so much was amazing, and this was a 4v5 for Schalke.
And that replay, of course, brought to you by Acer Predator, but just a beautiful taunt from Vander to close it out. Hype and excitement.
The various faces of watching a team fight when your team is on this close to securing another final.
We still have to zoom out and look at how Fnatic got in this situation, because they were down, but they keep finding picks. Chachi in the side lane, NukeDuck in the mid lane. The amount of engage, and especially Broxah and Hylissang together. Whenever Schalke are slightly overextending or not sitting together as a unit, they get caught and they die, and that's just credit to Fnatic for getting the goal back.
check.
But Schalke can still win this. Big team fight win on their side. They have the tools with this AD carry being extremely fed. Upset, it's all on you. You need to show that you can carry this late Fnatic
the
rush.
engage comes in. Broxah wants to get it started. Soaz is there for the backup. Upset not going to get locked up quite yet. Has to immediately leave out to safety, but Hylissang stops him from coming back. Already a man advantage. NukeDuck on the way in. Is it going to be enough? Amazing just tries to disengage.
And it's another Fnatic engage when Schalke are split, so they cannot 5v5 them. Once again, we have 4 members alive from Schalke. Fnatic, are you going back to Baron? Or are you waiting for another engage here?
Well, Schalke, they keep getting caught out of position. Even though they hold the gold lead, they are just constantly in a situation that allows Fnatic to find these picks, control the vision, and punish Schalke. They're the ones with priority over Baron, but they don't actually start this one off.
And gentlemen, the last time we saw the Zac pick was G2 versus Fnatic, our finals. And we're starting to wonder why we haven't seen it more, because Broxah is finding these engages over and over again. That rough early game no longer a factor because he keeps finding the pick setups for Fnatic.
Yeah, we've seen Zac a lot recently. LCK, LPL, they're playing it because they know once you get out of the early game, you're one of the best tanks.
And look at how close this scale on the gold graph is. 1.8k to 739. It has been a constant back and forth between these two teams. Schalke fighting for an opportunity to still earn their first EULCS title, whereas Fnatic looking for their 7th.
And we keep calling it mistakes when Schalke are caught out, but it's so hard to play against so much engage. Again, we can see everything. We know where Fnatic are sitting and hiding, looking for the engage, but Schalke cannot. They're constantly scared, because whenever you step past the river,
it's true.
There's a Zac jumping from miles away, and you simply can't split up as Schalke.
And look, the flash is now available for Hylissang. That's another thing you have to respect. The Realm Warp flank. Here's the Ornn ulti once again.
Not afraid to go all in on
nice
Vizicsacsi, but he's going to use the knockup to stop any further aggression. Now pulling back, but Caps, not the weak laner he once was. So strong to start cutting through the health bar of Vizicsacsi.
NukeDuck is going to struggle to get into these fights as well. With such long-range engage, for him to close the gap is going to be very difficult, and he's going to be forced to focus this front line. How he executes these fights will be pivotal, but look at the side lanes as well. Big wave being pushed in favor of Fnatic towards the bot side of the map, and there's no TP outside of upsets.
It's just Schalke, they're scared of going to the side lanes, knowing that someone can get engaged on. But once they see anyone there, Fnatic can move in and kill all these wards Schalke have placed in the Baron. They get control of the area again, and suddenly you're playing blind as Schalke. You don't know when you can step into the river. You don't know when you can step forward in lane, and it's so difficult for them to play against. Looks like Fnatic, however, are actually delaying killing the wards. They're looking towards Chachi again.
A lot of run, Chachi.
Broxah could go in. Caps has more than enough damage to close this one out. They're not going to pursue for anything else, however. Chachi not dying on the sideline will be a nice advantage. Fnatic for now will just settle for the Cloud Drake, their second dragon of the game. And the goal is still dead even, gentlemen, as we approach the 30-minute mark.
Whew. All right, we slowed down a little bit. Normally games would be over by this point in the game, but we got this game 4. We're expecting it to go towards the late game. The 4 item, the 5 items. The Infinity Edge is now finished for Rekkles. You can see that the Mercurial Scimitar is now done for Upset. Level 16 for Caps, and his 3rd item along with a needlessly large rod. And NukeDuck, though, he is struggling yet to complete his GA. He's not quite the laning Irelia that he was in this early game.
Hard to play out these late game fights. We've already brought it up before, but there's just so much CC that NukeDuck, yes, if he finds that golden opportunity, he can go off.
Broxah again.
May not be it. Upset now needs to make it out to safety. The knockup does connect onto 2 members. Upset, though, using that flash is going to be massive in the fights to come.
Ooh, that's a TP from Vizicsacsi as well. I believe there is a slow push in the bot lane, but pushing in favor of Fnatic towards the top side of the map.
And the last-minute ward does spot out Broxah, stops Schalke from getting caught off guard, but the elastic slingshot cooldown is just so low. Broxah's just going to keep fishing for these engages. All it takes is one misstep from Schalke for this to turn in the favor of Fnatic.
And we're looking at amazing to start a fight here for Schalke. If he can find the opening, it's such a big difference in terms of amount of engage you're bringing.
Fnatic split.
Predator wants to knock Soaz back. Good use of the cast. Broxah now going to try to turn it. On the backside, Caps has stopped any follow-up from Vander. Vizicsacsi now flashing out to safety. It's a scattered fight. No one has committed quite yet. Vizicsacsi taking a little bit of chip damage here. Will Fnatic go for the re-engage? They do not have the Ornn ultimate quite yet.
This is fine for Schalke because, again, look at the side lanes. It's actually pushing in favor of Schalke in the bot side of the map. They also have it pushing up top side, so Schalke, they just have to be patient. The big thing is that Soaz's ulti is coming up soon, and Fnatic have everything available to fight.
Yeah, Schalke lost their main ulti right there. Amazing's ulti is gone. He tried to get Soaz, which was never really gonna work, but he's looking for Broxah now. Broxah gets to walk out, and he sits in his control ward brush, and he can jump all the way into the river.
There's also no flash on Upset. Hylissang, that is going to be his primary target. If they lock him down, the fight will be won for Fnatic.
Can they find the opportunity? Broxah's looking for it. He's going to get silenced immediately as the fight kicks off. NukeDuck has used the ultimate to get the fight started. He's made the zone. He's zoned out most of Fnatic. Caps now trying to pull the rest of the team back. They are going to look to escape for now. Rekkles with a good use of the Feather Collar to bring it back, but NukeDuck wants to keep the fight going. Flawless Roulette will not connect, and Schalke are going to back off.
Feast still available for Chachi in case Baron gets started, but they didn't get Broxah down into his passive. They're hiding in the brush right now.
Looking for the pick. NukeDuck not going to find Soaz.
It's a lot harder for Schalke again to start the fight here. They need Amazing to body slam Flash to guarantee the engage.
I have my eyes on Hylissang, though. This guy still has Flash, still has ulti. He could be the game changer for Fnatic.
He's waiting, he's looking for that opportunity. When are the movement cooldowns going to be burned by Upset? When can they cut through that major damage source on the side of Schalke? Broxah, though, very low. He's going to find an opportunity quite yet. Hylissang now looking forward, he gets it started off. Vander now trying to interrupt with the taunt. NukeDuck looking for a way to the back line, but Upset remains untouched. Sadly, Vander going to get cut down immediately by Rekkles. Buys a bit of time with the stopwatch. Upset now looking for a little bit more. NukeDuck does try to get out, but he's so low. Schalke cut down by Rekkles in their final moments. That's the Quadra. He wants the Penta, but Upset's not going to let it happen.
You can't out teamfight Fnatic in the late game. Many teams have tried, many teams have failed. Rekkles finds himself a quadra kill. Fnatic on track to get their 7th EU LCS title.
Those are the cold-blooded eyes of Rekkles. He knows no mercy here in these final moments of the game. Schalke, this will not be your first final.
Oh, Upset is trying alone right now, but all of Fnatic will just force him back.
Fnatic will not be stopped, gentlemen. They will not be denied. And for the 7th time, Europe, Fnatic are your champions. A dominant showing in the final moments. Fnatic proving that even when Caps is put down, the rest of the roster will rise up around him and carry home the victory. Their 7th EU LCS title. Their first seed at Worlds in Europe since 2015. We all remember that roster, and we're all going to remember this one.
Fnatic have looked dominant throughout the year. Devastation for Schalke. They played their hearts out in Game 4. That final team fight is what decided everything. But Fnatic, as they often have, come out on top.
Joy on the faces of these players, of the coaches, of the support staff, knowing that they earned this. Knowing that their place at the top of Europe was absolutely justified and continuing to prove that no one can contest them.
They've had 11,000 fans in Madrid screaming their name, screaming for Fnatic, and they deserve this.
Here we go, folks, the moment. The team gathers around, 6 men strong, support staff behind them. Fnatic, champions of Europe. Once again, the joy on the faces of the fans, the joy on the faces of the players, knowing that they earned this. And the crowd lighting up for each and every member of the support staff, for the team, regardless of how many games they played, regardless, they know that all of Fnatic earned this moment.
And this was the 6-man roster from Fnatic. It started at the beginning of the year. Whippo came in place of Soaz last split. After his arm injury, they made it to MSI. They won Spring Split. And it was this split where they fully utilized it. Whippo, Soaz, Rekkles. The combination of the 3 led them to another European final. And I gotta say,
it's a pleasure to see Rekkles return to the lineup. Gets to play some of the crit late game AD carries, and then in the big moments, in the big team fights on the big stage, he's the one getting all of the kills. He's the one winning the final team fight for the team.
And after semifinals, I feel like we were skeptical. We thought Caps was the guy who carried it all through. It was only Caps, but here it showed that Fnatic as a team are just unstoppable. Broxah, every single engage landing true. Schalke never able to respond. Members of every player's family, smile, elation. These are the moments that you live for in esports.
And now they're Europe's hope at Worlds, the #1 seed. They have fantastic players, a large coaching staff behind them.
And they're looking to relive the 2015 Fnatic glory days. Many fans wanted to see that Fnatic return. And while it was a hard-fought series, I feel like Schalke truly did play their hearts out. They made it difficult for Fnatic to secure another title. Fnatic will be the #1 representative at the World Championship, and they'll prove that Europe is definitely a region that will show up at this international competition.
The man on your screen, happy with the results, and of course, Vitality as well, wherever they are right now.
Oh, they were in the venue. They were screaming during that last team fight. They will be our 2nd seed, but it's all about Fnatic right now.
Absolutely is. 2 men on your screen right now, Rekkles and Caps, the dual threat of Fnatic. Rekkles gone for so long, it was Whippo who held that mantle until we got later in the season. with the return of two incredible players, incredible talents in Europe. We see QuickShot getting ready to speak to both of them, to talk to them about this glorious moment in both of their careers.
And what a split for Caps as well. MVP of the split. When Rekkles left, he was the man that stepped up. The team played around him, and everyone is so excited to see him play at Worlds again. His MSI performance, his summer split performance, people want to see how well he can do against some of the best talent that the world has to offer.
Truly a beautiful moment. Incredible final moments as the interview gets ready. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure to watch this final. For the EU LCS Summer Final, Rekkles, Caps, and Soaz. They are your choices for Player of the Series. Head over to @lolesports on Twitter and vote on the poll. Let us know what you think contribute to this glorious moment. For now, let's head down over to QuickShot to talk with the victorious